It's Friday, March 25th. Let's talk PlayStation. So I thought I'd mention this one real quick because, like, dude, who doesn't remember this awesome game? But PixelJunk Monsters, the awesome tower defense game, is getting a sequel. So PixelJunk Monsters 2 coming out May 25th, PS4, Switch, PC. Really cool. I mean, this is just like, I remember this being a really awesome PS3 exclusive back in the day when this game came out. Then it went to everything else. I mean, it went to PSP, PS Vita, and then Windows and Wii U, I think. So the game was available everywhere. But I just thought that was kind of cool to mention. And you can actually see the sequel is like totally 3D now. And kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure how I actually feel about that. But I remember putting a lot of time into that game. I thought that was really cool. So anyway, effective right now, PlayStation VR is getting a official price cut, official MSRP cut, $100 clean off the camera bundle. So the actual unit that comes with PSVR and a camera, the base model, $400, that's going down to $300 permanently. I mean, of course, we've had many sales, and we had a sale that just recently happened. And actually, there was some really good sales. Like, it was as low as like $250, $200, I think I was seeing some models go for, depending on the retailer, of course. But Sony's been doing a lot of sales for PSVR recently, and so kind of makes sense that they can swing an official MSRP cut clean off the hardware. And of course, it just bodes well for people that are looking to get into VR, because as it stands right now, Sony is still the market leader when it comes to premium VR, as I call it at least, because still a vast majority of VR is like actually those crappy little phone things that you put on your face, and it's just totally stupid because it's just 360 video. That stuff's garbage. The premium VR space, where, you know, we're talking about Vive, Oculus, PlayStation VR, Sony has market share, the lead market share there, of course. And obviously it helps to have the price of entry just come down that much more. So that alongside you know, very similarly priced PS4 Slim, not a bad deal for people looking to jump into VR. So recently, Media Molecule demoed a very long portion of Dreams, showing how to create a cutscene in the game. And it seems like recently they've been doing a lot of things with Dreams, showing a lot of more footage, talking a little bit more about the game. And I just thought it's noteworthy because, well, it's great that we're seeing more of the game. I mean, because this is a game that's been up in the air for quite a long time with Media Molecule. We all know my unfortunate 2018 prediction was that I really, you know, for some reason I have a bad feeling that this game's going to come out and be received poorly. As I watch more footage of the game, I can certainly see the Media Molecule DNA. This game does look very cool, and I'm certainly on board. I just have a bad feeling that it's going to come out and, at least, at the very least, sales-wise, not do even remotely close to what maybe they're hoping or expecting, or certainly what Sony would hope to get out of the game. I mean, the game's been in development for quite some time, but of course I trust them. Like, this is, like I said, this is something I'm totally on board for. And just recently I filmed 2 new Little Big Planet videos that'll go up sometime soon. And it was just kind of a throwback for me, because playing Little Big Planet, God, I love that game so much, and the formula and the world that they created with that game, and especially the creation tools that they put in place, were so important for that game, and it really was something special. And I have no doubt that they could certainly do that again with Dreams. And the more I see it, I am thoroughly impressed. I really. The only thing is, this is the jumping off point of this news story is that because they're showing so much of the game, we could very possibly get a release date for this game within the coming months, you would hope. They're still saying within 2018. I'm kind of 50-50 on it right now, where it's like I could see them announce a release date, and I could see them hit that release date, and I could also see them still showing plenty of the game, but for some reason just not being ready and getting this game moved into 2019, which may even be a more favorable option anyway, considering how many heavy hitter titles are coming out this holiday season. And, you know, a game like Dreams already, I think, is a tough sell for a vast majority of people that are typically into like the kind of games that are getting released today. So yeah, you know, I'm 50-50 on that. All right, so we got more cross-play stuff to discuss. It seems like a lot of you guys are actually getting sick of the cross-play stuff, but I thought this to be a pretty polarizing statement. But anyway, this is from Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney in regards to Fortnite's rising popularity. I mean, let's face it, this game seems like it's very much so here to stay as Fortnite gets more and more popular. In regards to cross-play network, cross-play between PS4 and Xbox One, he thinks it's basically inevitable. He was actually quoted as saying, I think it's inevitable now. Games have become social experiences in the same way that Facebook or Twitter have, and these experiences only really make sense if gamers can communicate with all their friends. For Sony and Microsoft to support their customers, well, they have to be open to all their customers' friends. They're real-world friends, like kids in school have their friends, and do you expect this platform schism to divide them into two separate groups that they can't play together? No, it's got to come together now. That one remaining barrier will inevitably come down. Which is certainly an interesting point. But I just don't see the kind of notion he's getting at, given the fact that, well, there's still really not much grounds for that to really hold up. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same argument that it seems, if anything, that makes more of a case as to why Sony's still not doing cross-network play. As this game gets more and more popular, where do you think more and more people are likely going to have to play it? Well, they could play it on PC, which a lot of people certainly do with that game. But if they're playing on a console, hey, well, guess what? One console is selling marginally better than the other one. Chances are, you know, if you've got a circle of friends, a lot of them are playing Fortnite on PlayStation 4. Like, why would Sony, you know, allow people the option to play with Xbox One players? That encourages more PlayStation 4 sales, given the fact that more people probably have PS4s, probably already playing in that circle. Exclude Xbox players and encourage more PS4 sales. It's the unfortunate reality of it, but again, this is like, the ball is like in Sony's court, and why would they want the ball to leave the court, I guess, so to speak. And it's like a back and forth thing. People often mention, oh, well, you know, this was back when Sony was trying to, like, in the PS3 days, Sony was actually very supportive of cross-network play, which is a very real thing. They were very supportive of it at the time. And they were even encouraging it back then, to which Microsoft said no. So here we are today. The roles are reversed, and Sony has a very nice lead over Microsoft. Why would they want to give that up? For our final news story, we have a little bit of God of War news for you, more specifically about if this game will have a new Game Plus, because the game's director, Cory Barlog, responded to a fan directly on Twitter asking, that was asking this very question, like, hey Cory, is there going to be a new Game Plus mode available at launch for this game? Cory responded, well, we have something, but it's a little bit different. It's kind of a situation where you finish the main story, and you can actually keep playing the game and go even a little bit further. Somebody wanted a little bit of elaboration on that, and he said, yep, don't want to spoil anything specific, but there's definitely something there that you can do after the fact. And God of War has traditionally always offered something like this in terms of a new Game Plus thing, but what this tells me is that this is going to be a situation where you finish the game, right, and you can keep walking around within the environment that they've built up, and you can either finish up, you know, previous tasks, side quests, things like that that you maybe didn't get to, collectibles that you didn't get to. But he's even more so making it seem like, okay, then new post-game content opens up as you finish the main story, and that stuff only opens up once you finish the story, which I'm all for. I'm always a big fan of post-game content, especially for single-player games, linear games. I always really enjoy that stuff, because that's typically something you might not see in a super linear game. But even then, we've been seeing a good portion of God of War in the past few days, past few weeks, and we know that it's not entirely linear in a certain sense. So I'm all for it. And as the more I read about this game, the more I'm getting really super excited about it. I mean, honestly, looking back, I think we've had a God of War news story like every single week for at least the last month, which is awesome. We're probably still going to keep talking about it, and I can't wait to play it. I know many of you may be wondering, oh, hey, Ryan, you should do a review for this game. I am no longer promising reviews anymore for this channel. If I do one, then, you know, great, but they just take way too much goddamn time, because I'm just one dude, and the way I've always filmed them, at least, are just way too work intensive. So I've always like, oh yeah, I'll do a review of this game, and that game. It's just, you know, with work and personal life, those videos just take way too long nowadays. But I will try to do one, but I feel like I'm going to prioritize my own enjoyment of the game, because that's certainly what I want to do. I'm very excited for it. Those are some of the news stories that I want to talk about with you guys this week. So, as I mentioned from last week, the PS4 and Xbox One discussion video is up right now. A very lengthy conversation from start to finish as to why Sony is doing so well and why Microsoft is not really moving a whole lot of Xbox One units. And the first remembering video that I finally uploaded in a very long time, remembering MotorStorm Pacific Rift. Now listen here, you gosh darn bastards. I polled you and I said, I polled you in the community section of this channel. I said, if I film new rememberings, are you going to watch them this time? That video barely broke 1,000 views. I don't know if that's because YouTube sucks and admitted that, like, straight up people don't get notified about every video nowadays, even if you're subscribed to a channel, or if you just guys aren't really into that thing. If that's fine, but let me know that so I can focus on what you want to see more of. But otherwise, I will, I guess, also make a perfect disclaimer right now, but if you do want to keep 100% updated on the channel, then you click that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and that notifies you about every upload, not just occasional uploads. That's kind of super annoying, but oh well, what are you going to do? Anyway, that concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Berney. Thank you all so much for talking with me, and I will see you guys next Friday.